What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex. In this video, I want to discuss why Ahsoka needs to come to Star Wars Battlefront 2 in 2020. Now, I had a couple different variations of what I wanted to do with this video, and we had some news over the last couple weeks that I've seen a lot of, Star Wars Battlefront 2 YouTubers discuss, and I'm going to mention it very, very briefly. I think they do a really good job of talking about it, but that definitely puts more doubt in people's minds as to Ahsoka. Now, I want to take the more positive approach. I want to take the more like it kind of needs to happen and it doesn't make sense. And it would actually be a pretty big disappointment if Ahsoka isn't in this game. And I think that's really where I want to drive it home is some of the talk of Star Wars Battlefront 2, especially a few years ago, we had talk or there was a question directed to the makers of Battlefront, and they talked about will there be, and again, I think a lot of people already know this, will there be more female characters? Padme. They didn't actually mention Ventress, but she would be fantastic. Ahsoka, and so on. And they had said, yes, there's going to be more females added in terms of heroes and villains. Now, here we are we're in 2020 now. We're pretty close to getting BB-8. So, very, very exciting times. And Star Wars Battlefront 2 has done some absolutely incredible things over the past couple of years. But then recently, we got the same guy who had originally said yes to that, saying he was just kind of saying it in the moment. He wasn't 100% sure that it was going to happen. It was kind of the morale boost that he felt the community needed at the time, and I don't blame him for what he did. I've seen a lot of people take his side, and I think I would take his side too. But Battlefront was not in a good place, I'd say, when that question was asked, and slowly throughout time, it's gotten much, much better. Here's the deal with Ahsoka. I'm not saying that he's lying with this answer, saying we haven't gotten to it, or because he didn't flat out say no. That's another thing. All he said is we haven't gotten to it, and that he made people in general made lots of promises or said lots of things back in the day that they're just not going to be able to accomplish and fulfill all of those things. So that's pretty much what he said. I think a lot of people have taken that and run with it and said, well, then it's just not happening, right? I think with the fact that we're getting two new heroes, more sequel trilogy heroes, right? We're clearly, I think, on the path back to getting heroes. 2019 was a fantastic year for Battlefront. It's actually the year I jumped back into it as well. But 2018 was the year of just adding heroes and villains and heroes and villains and really stockpiling the game up in a tremendous way. So I think they did a phenomenal, phenomenal job. When it came to this year that we're in right now, I feel like it's going to kind of be the return to that. I feel like you're not going to have two ball droids as they're your leading heroes going into 2020, but I do not think they'll be the only heroes in 2020. Now, 2020, in general for Star Wars is gonna be a little bit dead. There is the Clone Wars, which is a big, and that's honestly the biggest thing. Is this is it for Star Wars. Yes, we're getting the Mandalorian season 2 in the fall. Maybe Mando could be in it. I mean, that would be a pretty sweet thing. Although, would he act a lot like Boba Fett? That would be tough. People have been demanding Ahsoka for the longest time. I remember when this game originally came out, and Tyler and I covered it on this channel. One of the videos we made was heroes and villains we wanted to add to the game, and my number one was Grievous, which we did actually get. But one of mine was Ahsoka. And it's not just me. This is not like a minority thing. There are hundreds of channels that have said Ahsoka would be a good idea. And she would. For the longest time, people had complained that the hero side is pretty weak. I still think, generally, the heroes are weaker than the villains. And I think I've watched videos of, people ranking, literally every single hero and villain put together. With the additions of Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan's a little tougher to play as, but he's decently strong. Anakin is a very, very strong. Anakin definitely helps literally balance the teams, which is kind of funny because of who he is. At the same time, I do feel the heroes still need a little bit more, and adding somebody like Ahsoka, and then even adding Ventress as the villain would be smart. It's smart for, again, not just to balance it, help the hero side out, but the Clone Wars is your thing. The Obi-Wan show isn't until 2021 at the earliest. Again, Mandalorian season 2, but this is it. Rise of Skywalker is over. We all saw it, right? Whether or not you liked it or not, that's up to you. Clone Wars is it now, and I'm super, super pumped for Clone Wars. I'm actually going to start, or probably by the time you guys are watching this video, I've already started to rewatch it to get ready for the season 7. So I'm super excited, and honestly, when it comes to Disney Plus and when it comes to the show coming out, I guarantee you it's going to be very, very, very popular. And the people asking for Ahsoka in this game are just going to continue to rise. Like, we're not going to suddenly drop the amount of people that want her in this game. This is an important thing, and if it's not, a lot of people are saying, well, maybe they could coincide it with February. I don't think they would do that. I don't think they could have heroes drop in back-to-back months. You get 2 this month or just BB-8. I don't actually even know how that is officially happening, but you're not going to, 100%. 100% you're not going to get Ahsoka in February. But the Clone Wars isn't coming out all at one time. It's still going to be like the weekly thing like Mandalorian. So they have time. They could also do it right after Season 7. And we know, even from Dave Filoni, like Ahsoka is still around in the Star Wars universe, even past the Clone Wars. So, and we knew that in the first place anyway. So it's not like the character's just gone after Clone Wars. Even if they wanted to do this as like a summer thing, like a June, July thing, it's still around Clone Wars. It's in a more dead period. But they're going to need content. And I'm not saying they don't have content. All they've done over the past 2 years is add modes, add maps, add characters, whether it be heroes and villains or reinforcements or whatever. They've done a phenomenal job at adding. And I'm not like attacking that at all. I think they've done a really, really good job. This is more of just like a personal thing I think a lot of people want. When... Like, yes, somebody like Obi-Wan, somebody like Anakin, those were characters that people really, really, really wanted, okay? I don't think that's a stretch to say. And at the same time, characters like Grievous, and honestly, I throw Ahsoka, it's just always weird, right? Even with Star Wars Battlefront 1, you have, like, the list, right? Everybody comes up with, like, a top 5 or top 10 list of who they would add. And Ahsoka is, like, always there with all these other characters, right? With Grievous, with like Anakin, with Dooku, or whoever, pick your character, but they're always there. And then these games repeatedly come out. I know there's only been 2, but they repeatedly come out. DLC comes out, and like they just skip them. They skip them for other characters. I don't know why making Ahsoka is such a hard thing. Like you have she's like an alien, right? She's not like a human, but like that's not a problem. And she wields lightsabers, and they've already done that before. The voice actress, she continues to voice Ahsoka in all different things. Spoilers for The Rise of Skywalker, but she's in that as well in terms of her voice. So it's not like she's retired or quit playing Ahsoka. Like she's always been around. So it's just it's kind of like mind puzzling to me that this has continued to happen where she isn't in it. I think here's the deal. If it's not in 2020, then it's not happening. If a Star Wars Battlefront 3 one day occurs, then maybe we could see it there. But as of now, for Battlefront 2, and to be honest with you, before they announced this Rise of Skywalker collection, all the stuff they were adding, I figured, especially heroes and villains, I figured they were done. I figured they weren't going to add any more heroes and villains. I get that they've consistently been adding stuff to this game, but eventually you do drop the game. And if EA wants to make a Battlefront 3, which doesn't seem to be in the cards this second, but you have to imagine it eventually will, even though some of even the developers of this game have said they don't envision it. That's fine. They can think that all they want, but EA could have different plans. It's just weird, all the stuff that's happened. And now that we do get a new wave, again, granted, they're literally rolling ball droids. I get that, but at the same time, if you're going to give us that and stop there, I think that's a little weird. I honestly feel like that's a little weird. I feel like you need to add additional things. And with the Clone Wars TV show, literally 2020 is the perfect time. You really can't get any better than 2020 for adding Ahsoka into this game. So do I think it's possible? Absolutely. Do I think it's likely? I think it's more likely than a lot of people will say. I honestly feel like the recent Twitter stuff from that guy has made people just completely drop it and say well, that sucks, right? We're just done. I don't again, I'm not saying he's lying, because I do feel like that literally is just something he said and what he truly believes. But also game developers, both the people that work in the game, in the actual studio, as well as literally the studio itself, whoever runs their official stuff, they lie all the time. So they could very easily have been working in Ahsoka and are just keeping it quiet and just aren't saying anything. That's easily possible. It happens all the time. So I wouldn't put it past them. I think this is the perfect time. I think, if anything, it's a missed opportunity. I won't hate them. I won't say that this ruined Star Wars Battlefront 2, because again, they've added so much. They've done again, over the last 2 years, they've done such a phenomenal job of trying to rebound this game, and they've accomplished that, which is incredible. Actually, I'm going to be making a video on that very, very soon. This is, again, kind of like a fan request and just something that's a little puzzling, that Ahsoka has always been wanted all the time, and she's always put up there on lists with all these other characters, and then all the other characters make it, and then she always doesn't make it. So it's just really weird how that's all happened. But guys, let me know in the comments below, what do you think? Do you think this could be the year that we get Ahsoka in Star Wars Battlefront 2, to coincide with the Clone Wars? Makes a lot of sense to me, but let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure you guys subscribe to our YouTube channel, Podcast Now. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when these videos go up, and thank you, as always, for watching. I want to start making more Star Wars Battlefront 2 videos in the future, so if you guys like that kind of content, make sure you show me by liking this video and doing all that other stuff, okay? So thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you all on the next video.